Hello, everyone, and welcome to this exclusive interview with the man, the myth, the legend that is Sam Hanna. We'd like to thank you all for liking the page, the new Facebook page, and the website, of course. This is obviously our chance for you all to hear who Sam Hanna is and how he's developed into the musical comedian that he is today. I'm Harry, by the way, if you didn't know me, which you probably didn't because I'm very insignificant, but I'm part of the Clockwork Piano Duo and part of Harry Eastwood Get Real, which is a podcast that we've set up. So if you want to follow us on there, please do so. But we're going to get straight to it, and I've got a few questions to ask Sam. So I'll start off with what got you into music initially?
It's very strange. I started singing in year 7 when a supply teacher said, "I want you to sing in the Christmas concert." And then that sort of adapted and I sang in all of the concerts, but I never really felt a passion for music until GCSE. And I had to pick some options for GCSE, and I thought music seemed easy. Music will see me through for 2 years. Not being able to play an instrument at all, only having my dulcet tones as they have been described. And over the 2 years, I never shied away from a challenge. I started playing piano, I started playing guitar, I started playing saxophone, I started playing trumpet, I started playing the drums.
A one-man band.
A one-man band. Sam Hanna and his one-man band. Maybe that should be my solo act name. But the passion was always there. It just needed me to notice that the passion was there. And it's never gone away. Music is now my life.
Yeah. And out of the instruments that you learnt to play, because obviously you're a multi-talented musician, I'm guessing that piano is your chosen instrument of choice. But was there anything particular about the piano that made you choose that as your medium, or rather than guitar, for example?
The reason I stuck with piano and singing is because piano is very easy to sing with. The saxophone is very difficult to sing at the same time as play it. But it's also very easy to adapt what you're playing. And with guitar, you've either got chords or you've got tabs, and you can either play chords or you can play tabs or you can play both. And it's the same with piano. You can either play chords on piano or play sheet music. But I've learned over the many years that we've known each other, there are different ways I can play chords, and that's sort of improved my playing, and it's improved me as a musician. So yeah.
It is a very versatile instrument, isn't it? That's what I would say.
That's the word I was looking
for. Right, so my next question is, what is your musical, or who is your musical inspiration? I think I know the answer to this, and a lot of people probably do, but
it depends, because obviously I have musical theatre backgrounds. But now I am obviously a musical superstar in the comedy circuit. I would say in musical theatre, probably Michael Ball or Andrew Lloyd Webber. Just because Michael Ball is a man of many talents, you give him anything and he can do it. And Andrew Lloyd Webber is an amazing playwright, an amazing musician, lyricist, man of many talents. And of course, in the comedy circuit, the answer you've all been waiting for, Dilly Keane and Fascinating Aida. Their lyrics are genius. They set the standard for comedy in music in the 21st century. So you can take a song of any topic, and you know that they've got a song of that topic, and you see how far they've gone with it, and you can then see how far you can go with it. Taboo, for example, you can rewrite Taboo as many times as you like, because they explain it as a song lyrics that they wouldn't sing about. So I've been able to adapt those lyrics into including COVID-19 and BLM and I think the Nazi Party make an appearance.
Make of that what you will, but
make of that what you will. But they and myself knowing Dilly Keane, she's been hugely helpful in myself becoming a musical comedian and hugely supportive of everything that I do. So I have to include her as a musical inspiration.
Well, luckily I anticipated your answer, so the next question is sort of linked, which is, if I hadn't introduced you to Fascinating Aida back in the flat at university, where do you think you would have taken your musical career? Do you think Do you think you would have found your way to musical comedy, or do you think it wouldn't have occurred to you?
I started university off the back end of a love of the Beatles and Pink Floyd. So I spent a lot of time during the first term of university, up to October half term, playing Pink Floyd and playing the Beatles and playing Elton John. And then you changed me. You ruined my life. You destroyed the sweet and innocent man that was Sam Hanna, and turned him into.
You can all thank me later.
Or line up at his house with pitchforks and torches. So no, I don't think I would have found a way into musical comedy. And part of me thinks if I didn't play musical comedy, I may have stayed at university, because obviously that is what everybody was doing. Everybody was doing what had been done before in popular music, whereas I was trying to inject something new,
very different,
into popular music, and nobody liked it. Everyone was like, "You don't fit in here."
It was as I think Dilly said, it's more musical theatre than sort of a degree in music, isn't it? Because
it's more theatre, more theatrical, it's more musical theatre, being theatrical, being stupid with comedy. So yeah. I may have still been at uni. Who knows?
Okay. Next one. What is your favourite musical comedy song of all time?
That is a very hard question. That is an extremely hard question, because I have various ones from various artists.
Yeah.
Can I list each one from various artists?
Yeah, go for it.
So Fascinating Aida / Dilly Keane, I'd have to say Song of Sexual Reorientation. If you don't know the lyrics, don't know how that song goes, Dilly and her then supporting pianist Michael Royston sing a lovely song about lesbianism and what it would be like if they were to become lesbians. Putting it simply.
As you do, I mean.
You do. Victoria Wood. It has to be Barry and Frida. a timeless classic.
Yeah.
Rewritten so many times, and how the hell she plays that song without any lyrics on the piano, I will never know. No lyric, no sheet music. She knows exactly when to change the key. She knows exactly what note to sing at what time, and that's who I aspire to be.
Absolute professional. Yeah.
Absolute professional.
Not that I'm saying you're not, but
well, look back at that rehearsal in Studio K, and
that's a story for another day, I think, isn't it?
that's a story for another day. Monty Python, I'd have to say, every sperm is sacred. As someone who is or has been religious, it's a very clever song about Roman Catholics, and how every sperm is needed, and that's why Roman Catholics have so many children. And finally, to mention F sharp, you've got to love a good tunelessness song about playing the piano in a particular key and singing a completely different key.
Okay, cool. Second to last question: how important do you think musical comedy is in today's society? I thought this was quite a topical question that you quite enjoy answering.
It's very important in these.
That's the right answer.
I'm glad. In these trying times, comedy is more important than ever. And whether it's a completely tasteless song or whether it's a sweet song that says your baby is ugly multiple times, you've got to have a laugh. And I think, again, in these times where people are jumping on a bandwagon of finding people to troll or people to cancel in the new cancel culture, comedy is really important, because it keeps people sane. Especially during lockdown, I found playing musical comedy has kept me as sane as I was before, which wasn't very sane, I have to admit. But comedy, if there's no comedy in the world is depressing, and everyone needs a laugh.
Yeah.
Because comedy is everything. Comedy, for me, comedy is everything. So yeah, getting sentimental in my old age.
Okay. Final question, really, which is just what's the plan? Do you want to tell everyone what the plan is for the page and Clockwork Piano and stuff, and so what's coming up, what they can expect to see?
So what you can expect to see on the brand new Sam Hanna page is exclusive new content regarding videos. So I have had a songwriting spurt all of a sudden during lockdown, as Harry knows. So there are multiple new songs or multiple new rewrites which are ready to be released into the world, to your untrained ears. So they will all be uploaded soon. There are hundreds of covers that I have performed 122 songs in the past. Hopefully all of those 122 songs will make it onto the page. Each week I will be premiering one of my previous live shows, and there are a lot of live shows to go around. In October, November, and December, dates are on the website. I don't have the dates to hand. There will be a show of some stature. We are figuring out how to do these shows in light of the new Facebook rules. So expect comedy, expect tears, expect tunelessness. And that will take us up to Christmas, where we figure out what people want to see, what people want to hear. There will be stupidness from Harry, from myself, from Ronan,
I'm glad you said you as well.
from Craig, who make up the dream team that is Sam Hanna Music, or Sam Hanna. More interviews. I will be interviewing Harry at some point. We are planning to interview Dilly Keane at some point, which is really exciting for both of us. We've got the podcast going. Obviously, we're on a hiatus at the moment, so in October we'll get the second series of the podcast up and running, which we're very excited about because there's so much has happened in the short space that we have been apart.
It's a good thing about 2020, isn't it? Unlimited.
Never stops.
Unlimited content.
And then Clockwork Piano. For those who have been fans of Clockwork Piano from the very start, back in the days of Hanna and Eastwood, before Clockwork Piano even existed, fans know that Harry decided to ditch me in order to finish a degree. Obviously, the degree was more important than the friendship. I know where faith stands.
Ouch.
But we are pleased to announce that we will be back. We are in the process of choosing a new set list for a show, hopefully to be performed next year. But we are eagerly studying the new guidelines weekly, and seeing if it is even plausible.
Yeah.
Do it next year. But we will be back. And what I am hoping to do is, if this wonderful man comes to visit, we may even get a live show. We may even get a show in where the two of us perform some of the old classics. And there are some classics, such as Alarm Bells, sometimes. Suddenly New Zealand, who knows? My Secret Love. But we will be back. There is so much that I have in store for the page. There's so much in store that everybody who works under me for Sam Hanna Music has in store for the page. So keep tuned in, and thank you for the likes.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. So if you've been living under a rock for the past 22 years of his life and you've never heard of Sam Hanna, now you know. So thanks for tuning in, and look out for more updates on the page. And we'll be back soon with some more content.